What about this? What about that? Peace, boat, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Now today, we're doing a quick one, and this is from the What About series. And I ask the question, what about the sin of bad monitoring of our health? That's right. Us brothers, man, as we get older, we have to learn to take care of ourselves. And you see Sinbad up here. I know many people from my generation are familiar with the brother Sinbad, you know, from A Different World and comedy specials and movies and everything else. Very funny comedian, very successful guy. I believe now brother Sinbad is in his 60s. I believe he's about 66. And he recently suffered a stroke. We're going to get into this, man, because I think he's representative of a lot of us older brothers and how we kind of look over our health, especially if we're a brother of means. You know, we're doing the things, you know, that a brother of means does. And I'm not saying that Sinbad specifically just disregarded his health. I'm not saying that. But I think he's a good example of brothers and how overlooking our health can eventually affect us. So without further delay, let's get at it. Well, all right. As stated, you see brother Sinbad here on the photograph on the screen here. And it says here, Sinbad is learning to walk 2 years after stroke. 5 things the black man should know about stroke risk. Because like I said earlier, you know, we have to learn to pay attention to our health, man. And, you know, things like stroke and other heart problems, man, are common amongst us, man. And we need to be aware of it. So let's move on down. It says here, veteran comedian Sinbad is still learning to walk 2 years after suffering a stroke, according to his family. They also released photos on Instagram of the 66-year-old star receiving physical therapy. A stroke occurs when blood that brings oxygen to your brain stops flowing and brain cells die. On average, someone in the U.S. has a stroke every 40 seconds, according to stroke.org. Every 40 seconds, someone's having a stroke. Just think about that for a moment. But we continue. Sinbad's family said in a statement that he's still fighting for every inch as his limbs that were once said to be dead are resuming mobility, which is particularly important as he begins walking again. We go down. Born David Atkins, Sinbad gained fame in the 1990s with his HBO stand-up specials and work on sitcoms such as A Different World and his The Sinbad Show. He also starred in films including House Guest, First Kid, and the Christmas comedy Jingle All the Way. 2 years ago, Sinbad suffered an ischemic stroke as a result of a blood clot that traveled from his heart to his brain. The medical emergency kept him in the hospital for 9 months and was released in July 2021, Page 6 reported. Survival odds from this type of event are approximately 30%, his family wrote. Sinbad has already beaten the odds and has made significant progress beyond what anyone expected, but there are still miles to go. Zoom down a little bit, get past all this other crap. And as you can see here, where he was photographed here, somebody posted on Twitter. It says, sending positive and uplifting prayers to my friend and uplifter of people, Sinbad. I love you, my brother and friend. All his life, he has always given so much love and support to so many. Now we all need to send our energy to our brother. And you see Brother Sinbad here, all right? He looks a lot different than how he looks in those pictures in the thumbnail, right? He needs help to walk, all right? He looks like he's lost a considerable amount of weight. And this is all since his stroke. And this was posted November 22nd, 2022, about a month ago, all right? He's still struggling from a stroke that he had a while back. We need to pay attention to this stuff, brothers. We do. But it says here, Sinbad is not alone. Black Americans are more likely to suffer from strokes. Black men are particularly in higher danger for strokes. Let me repeat that. Black men are particularly higher danger for strokes. Brothers, here are 5 things we need to know. 1, stroke risk and racial disparities. Cardiovascular health is one of the starkest illustrations of the racial disparities in health outcomes in the U.S. reported everyday health. Heart disease and stroke are 2 of the leading causes of death among Americans, and Black Americans are subject to far worse outcomes according to the American Heart Association. Stroke data. Black patients were 4% more likely than white patients to die within 10 years of having a stroke. Everyday Health reported. Black patients who died also tended to be younger and were more often women. But you ladies out there, you need to pay attention to this too. But we continue. Black Americans are 50% more likely to have a stroke than white Americans, and Black women are 70% more likely than white women to die of a stroke. Let me repeat that. Black women are 70% more likely to die from a stroke than white women. Says here, African Americans are 50% more likely to have a stroke, cerebral vascular disease, as compared to their white adult counterparts. So we're more likely to suffer a stroke than a white person. And there's multiple reasons for that, man. You know, the stuff we eat, living sedentary lives, lack of exercise, etc., etc. There's a lot of things that build up to that. But we continue. Number 3, Black men and stroke risk. Black men are 70% more likely to die from a stroke as compared to non-Hispanic whites, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health. Let me repeat that. Brothers are 70% more likely to die from a stroke as compared to non-Hispanic whites. Number 4, stroke risk for young blacks. Black young adults are almost 4 times more likely than their white counterparts to have a stroke, according to research published by the American Heart Association journal, Hypertension. So for all you young folks out there who think you can just get out there and live your life and do things the way you want to do, and think information like this is just for us old niggas, your young ass, you're 4 times more likely than your white counterparts to have a stroke. And I know, you look at something like the American Heart Association and you say, X, that's the white man's data. And you may be right, but your black ass will be laying on the white man's gurney when you have a stroke. Yeah, you'll be in the white man's hospital too. But we continue. Number 5 factors that decrease chance of stroke. There are factors that should be considered. to decrease the risk of having a stroke. Decrease salt intake. Keep blood pressure under control. Do not smoke. Stay in good physical shape. Eat fruits and vegetables daily. Keep sugar under control. Drink alcohol in moderation. Keep cholesterol normal. No drug use, according to the Closing the Gap in Healthcare organization. Let me repeat those for those of you in the nosebleed seats. The factors that should be considered to decrease the risk of having a stroke: decrease salt intake, keep blood pressure under control, do not smoke, stay in good physical shape, eat fruits and vegetables daily, keep sugar under control, drink alcohol in moderation, keep cholesterol normal, no drug use. Like I said, I know we like to overlook these things because we think that it doesn't mean anything. But it does, all right? It does mean something. Like I just said, like I just read y'all, what you eat, the lifestyle you live, man. Keeping yourself in shape, watching your diet, get control of your salt, your sugar, your blood pressure, the amount of alcohol, your cholesterol, staying off the drugs, all that kind of stuff, man, decreases your chances of this happening to you. I understand, man, that nothing's foolproof, all right? Nothing is foolproof, but you can decrease some of these things, man. There are things that you can do to decrease your chances of this happening to you. Because this isn't a monetary thing. Because guess what? People like Brother Sinbad, man. These are people who have money. They're the best doctors in the world. Living a good life, successful. But look at him. Now, I'm not trying to say that his stroke occurred because he didn't do any of these things. But I say again, if it could happen to Brother Sinbad, man, it can happen to any one of us, brothers. Any one of us. The only thing I'm saying is we have to take care of our health, brothers. We have to. A man of a certain age, as I am, I'm in my 50s. And one thing I've learned to do, man, is watch what I eat. Watch the amount of salt and sugar and fried foods and carbonated drinks and all that kind of stuff, man. The type of meat I eat, how much I eat, trying to stay active. Now, of course, I need to give up the damn cigars, which probably is not going to happen because I'll probably die with one of those in my mouth. But notwithstanding those, I have tried to change, my lifestyle because it is a lifestyle change. It's not as simple as stopping eating a particular thing or stop drinking a particular thing. I think it's all inclusive, man. It's all inclusive. Diet, exercise, the amount of rest you get, the physical activity, man, that's involved in your life. All of that stuff. Eating enough fruits and vegetables and staying away from certain types of processed crap, especially once you get to be a certain age, When you get to be a certain age, man, you have to kind of take care of yourself better. But just because you're young doesn't mean that you are exempt from any of this. All right? Because as the literature said here, all right, just because you're young Look here. Stroke risk for young blacks. Black young adults are almost 4 times more likely than their white counterparts to have a stroke, according to research published in the American Heart Association Journal. All right? So don't think just because your ass young that this doesn't pertain to you. Don't mess around and find out that it does pertain to you the hard way. And look at brother Sinbad here, man. Wish him Godspeed, man, in his recovery, because there's only a 30% chance of surviving what happened to this brother. And he survived it. And he's coming out of it. And he's getting better. So Godspeed to him, man. And I wish him all the best. But to maybe, just maybe, cause you good folk to avoid this in your life, man. So I don't have to see you up here needing help to learn how to walk again, talk again, get back on your feet. Because a lot of this stuff, man, we can't avoid if we want to. But we have to want it. But that's all. Once again, man, shout out to brother Sinbad, man. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. We'll see him back out there on the comedy strip once again. I want to thank everybody for coming through here, man. You know, you could have spent your time anywhere. You decided to spend it here at T.P.O.T, and it is appreciated. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have, and I never will. You got my word on that. So, with that, I will leave you good folk with 3 words, you know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peace, folk. Only from T.P.O.T.